Look, my esteemed colleague from Wisconsin, I don't mean to use any onomatopoeia here, but he's howling about the gray wolves and seeking to pass legislation to remove federal protections under the Endangered Species Act for gray wolves across the entire United States. A hallmark of the Endangered Species Act is the requirement that decisions be made solely on the basis of scientific data. Congress is supposed to rely on that data. Now, this act was brought to bear in '73 under a Republican president with a very important mission: to protect species at risk of extinction and promote the conservation of ecosystems and habitats necessary for the thriving of those species. And for species to be considered recovered, science must show that it's returned to suitable habitats with durable populations that can persist safely and durably into the foreseeable future. That's the law. Today, wolves have returned to only 10% of their historic range and do not meet the Endangered Species Act requirements for delisting. That's the law. Gray wolves once numbered the millions across North America, from forests and plains to deserts and mountains. But wolves with insatiable, rapacious cruelty were hunted, trapped, poisoned, and other actions to kill and eradicate them near extinction by the mid-20th century in all of the lower 48 states. There's growing sympathy and empathy in the American public for a species that has endured such cruelty and ruthlessness at human hands over the centuries. A species that is the forebearer to the dogs we love and cherish in our lives. An apex predator, gray wolves, we now know play a vital role in keeping the entire natural ecosystem in America healthy. When wolves were brought back to places like Yellowstone National Park, it transformed the park. More birds and beavers and fish returned. There are researchers from Wisconsin, my colleague's home state, that reveal the overwhelming net benefits of healthy wild wolf packs to our landscapes. My colleague cites that there are problems in Wisconsin. There are so many Wisconsinites that speak out, especially the scientists. And some of those scientists are actually economists. Wisconsin economists proved that wolves are protecting human safety. One of the big reasons why they're protecting human safety, and they enumerated this, is by reducing vehicle collisions with the deer population, with deer. Other independent research from Wisconsin suggests chronic wasting disease is suppressed where wolf packs hunt, and so many other benefits. But it's not just his state that this would affect. It would be so many other states. Look, we have a crisis in our country. We are living through a biodiversity crash. Some people call it the sixth mass extinction. This mass extinction is unique because it's being driven not by natural disasters, but primarily by human activity and decision-making. Current extinction rates are estimated to be hundreds to thousands of times higher than the normal background rate. We need to do better for what wildlife remains in our nation, including the gray wolf. We need to stand up for the role of science in influencing our decisions, for expertise, influencing the outcomes, and not harmful legislation like this. And that's why I will not allow it to move forward, Mr. President. I object.